5 seconds. Sir, now some honorable members have expressed the fear that the management may misuse this power. I have already made it clear that the present provision is already there in the Act, and this is an improvement that we say that instead to forfeit wholly, he can have the opportunity or the power to forfeit it partially. Regarding the question of the misuse of his power, supposing an employer misuses this power and he indiscriminately forfeits the gratuity, the employee has got the right to raise the dispute. He can dispute it, contest it. If the conciliation falls, he can go to the tribunal or to the labor court. The labor courts are presided over by judicial officers. Whatever the labor court decides is bringing on both the employees and the employers. Therefore, it is not correct to say that this power of partial forfeiture will be misused. I do not think this is going to be misused by the employer. I feel that there are sufficient opportunities which are open to the employee to challenge such a misuse exercised by the management. So, it is definitely an improvement on the existing provision of the Act. Some honorable members expressed the opinion that sufficient time is taken in making the payment of gratuity. It is not being paid promptly. I want to make it clear that the rules relating to the payment of gratuity already provided that an employee shall apply for payment of gratuity within 30 days from the date of gratuity becomes payable, and the employer has to make the payment within 30 days from the date of the receipt of the application for payment of gratuity. So, the time limit is already prescribed and he has to pay the amount as per time limit fixed in the rules. Some honorable members wanted to know why this limit of 10 workers was prescribed. It is because the Payment of Gratuity Act says that this is applicable only to the establishment. In section 2, it is said to what category of industries and establishments it is applicable. So, in the Act, it has been made clear that such other establishments or class of establishments in which 10 or more employees are employed or were employed on any day of the preceding 2 months by notification, especially in this behalf, we have got the powers, the government has got the powers. It is applicable only to the establishment where the workers are 10 or more. Now, the question is why it should not be made applicable to all the establishments irrespective of the member of workers. The question is whether an employer having 2, 3, 4, or 5 workers has got that capacity. He has not got that capacity at all. When he has not got the capacity, he has not got the capacity. What is the use of having legislation and thrusting that legislation on him? Therefore, what we felt was that so far as this legislation is concerned, it should be made applicable only to bigger establishments which can employ at least 10 or more workers. Then I want to tell the honorable members that government has got the powers to extend this act to other establishments also. Accordingly, the central government has specified motor transport undertakings, clubs, chambers of commerce and industry, association, federations, inland water transport establishment and such local bodies in which 10 or more persons are employed. Wherever the government feels that it should be extended to other establishments, it has already extended, and if there are any good cases for extension of this, government is prepared to consider those cases and bring them under that category and extend the application of payment of gratuity act to close establishments also. Now, we have come to the conclusion that it is necessary to amend the definition of continuous service under the Industrial Disputes Act also. It is similar. However, it has become necessary to amend the definition of continuous service in the Payment of Gratuity Act because of the judgment of the Supreme Court. It is possible that we may have to carry out similar amendments in the Industrial Disputes Act in due course. Why we have brought this measure, you will agree, is that because the Supreme Court had said in its judgment that unless he has put in to 40 days of continuous service, he will not be considered to be in service and will not be entitled to gratuity. What we have said is for the definition of continuous service, he will be considered to be in continuous service even if he is on unauthorized leave, unless he has been punished by the management. And for punishing the worker, the management has to punish under the standing orders. They cannot punish him offhand according to their whims. If he has to punish him, certain procedure is there which has to be gone through. After completing the procedure, only he can punish him. If the employer is misusing the powers, then the employee can raise the Industrial Disputes Act. Students, be ready for the outlines. 5 seconds to go. Expressed, forfeit, gratuity, labor court, judicial officers, time limit, thrusting, chambers of commerce and industry, federations. Come to the conclusion. Continuous service, Supreme Court. He will be considered whims, misuse, indiscriminately, conciliation, presided over, forfeiture, workers, association, inland, it is necessary, Industrial Disputes Act, definition, punishing.